Hello, and welcome to Watch Stay Awake, the channel in which we discuss all things Jehovah's Witnesses. Let's begin.
When you and I receive new literature at conventions or in the Kingdom Hall, we always marvel at the work that goes into producing our magazines and other publications. The well-written articles, the beautiful artwork, and how it builds our faith. But how often do we think about the efforts involved in getting the literature from Bethel to the hands of the publishers?
I think a bigger question would be to ask, how is it that Watchtower, for decades, has been able to manipulate people to essentially work for free, all the while using loopholes to avoid paying any type of employment taxes? Let's take a deeper look into the corporate world of the Watchtower Bible and Tract Society.
The Personnel Committee of the governing body is privileged to care for the needs of numerous willing servants of Jehovah God who say, as did Isaiah, "Here I am, send me." These include the thousands of brothers and sisters working hard, full-time, at Bethels around the world, supporting the commission to give a witness to all the nations.
Okay, did you catch that? He said the personnel committee of the governing body. He didn't say the personnel committee of the Watchtower and Bible Tract Society. He didn't say the personnel committee of the Christian Congregation of Jehovah's Witnesses. He didn't say the personnel committee of fill in the blank with one of its other numerous entities that it has up under the umbrella of Watchtower. Do you see what's going on here? So the governing body is not just a group of men. It is its own business entity. Otherwise, why would they have a personnel committee to manage thousands of workers? Think about it. All right, let's keep going.
No matter what I can do here, knowing that by doing it, I'm supporting Christ's brothers makes me feel very, very good.
Here in Bethel, you have the best employer that there is, Jehovah. No other employer is as grateful and considerate as he is. So out of love for Jehovah, you're simply happy to give him your best.
I'm going to be honest, folks. I think it is completely criminal to have a business in the United States of America that's business model is telling its workers that by working for either free or pennies on the dollar, that they are supporting Christ's brothers. The fact that this woman is equating God to her employer shows the level of manipulation. Like, this is so disgusting. And I am so surprised that this is not illegal in the United States. I mean, this is the craziest thing I've ever heard of. But yet, this is a tactic that has been working for decades now. These people have been living in Bethel, all these various Bethel facilities for years. And they've been getting away with this crap. This is the most disgusting and blasphemous thing I've ever heard of. But again, this is the business model of Watchtower. This is what it does to its member. It's just disgusting. And you know what's even worse? The manipulation starts at youth. It starts early on, and that's how these people are getting conditioned to think that some kind of way this is normal, that this is right. Check it out.
My parents raised me to have a spiritual focus. So in the school holidays or as growing up, our life revolved around the ministry, doing spiritual activities. And it really helped us keep focused spiritually as a family and helped me stay focused on the goals that we wanted to achieve.
I thought it was very strange that he used the word focus 3 times, but nevertheless, anybody who grew up as one of Jehovah's Witnesses, basically from infancy, knows how much of control Watchtower has over your family life, right? Everything in your life is centered around going to meetings, going field service. That was pretty much your whole life. If you did any activities, it had to be mainly with other Jehovah's Witnesses. Very little outside influence. It was very controlled. And that's how Watchtower wants it. And for those people who were not raised as infants in the organization, and someone studied with you, again, we know the peer pressure that comes from Bible, those who are studying the Bible with us as Bible students, and then pioneers within the congregation, elders, and older ones and even elder peers. I mean, there's a lot of influence within the kingdom halls of the congregations, which again aid in that manipulation. So this manipulation runs very deep.
We do not encourage individuals to obtain university education or training with the thought that this will improve their chances of being called into Bethel.
Yes, you heard that correctly. They don't want you to go to college because they want you to basically work for them. So no point in trying to get an education for yourself so you can make your own living. No, you're just going to be an indentured servant for Watchtower. Let's continue.
The best way to prepare for Bethel service is to first serve in the full-time pioneer ministry. The greatest need is for single brothers. However, all who meet the qualifications, including sisters, are encouraged to apply for temporary volunteer service. Serving as a temporary volunteer at Bethel may open the way to other opportunities to expand your service to Jehovah.
So this is ridiculous. So what they do is they vet people to come to Bethel. And the way that they screen these people out to see who's going to be obedient and do whatever they ask them to freely without, asking any questions or complaining about anything is vetting them through this type of work. So if you're able to, before you even put in an application to go to Bethel, oh yeah, it's an application. We'll get to that next. But before you even put in an application to be a volunteer, they want to know how dedicated are you to basically give up your free time for them before you even come. And that's the way to show if you're going to be accepted into Watchtower.
If you are interested in applying for Bethel service, you should make your desire known to your congregation service committee, who will provide you access to the online applications by means of my.jw.org. However, which application should you complete? Since there are two types of applications available, first, give careful and prayerful consideration to your circumstances. Thereafter, decide whether you will complete the application for volunteer program A19, which is available for those interested in serving on a temporary basis for as brief as 1 week or as long as several consecutive months. Or you may decide to complete the application to become a member of the Worldwide Order of Special Full-Time Servants of Jehovah's Witnesses, A8. This application is for those interested in serving on a long-term basis for 1 full year or longer.
Well. What do we have here? Yet another business entity under the Watchtower umbrella. This time, this one is called Worldwide Order of Special Full-Time Servants of Jehovah's Witnesses. Now ask yourself, why does Watchtower need yet another business entity name? Is it a real business structure? Well, let's Google it and see what we can find. Okay, so I went to Google and I typed in Worldwide Order of Special Full-Time Servants, and this is what popped up. According to this one source, it says that there are 67,000 members of this Worldwide Order of Special Full-Time Servants of Jehovah's Witnesses. Some perform Bethel service, others engage in construction or in circuit work, serve as field instructors, special pioneers, blah, blah, blah. So, okay, that kind of outlines what they do. What's kind of peeking at me right here under, if you look where it says Guide Star, it says Religious Order of Jehovah's Witnesses. So let's check that out and see what that has to say. Okay, so under this Religious Order of Jehovah's Witnesses, again, I'm not sure of the validity of this source, but I'm just going to read what it says. It says the Religious Order of Jehovah's Witnesses is an organization that supports the activities of the Worldwide Order of Special Full-Time Servants, aka the Order, and its members who serve under a written vow as special ministers, devoting their full-time efforts to preach, teach, and disseminate information about God's Word, the Bible, and to support activities of legal entities used by Jehovah's Witnesses. Religious Order of Jehovah's Witnesses use voluntary contribution to provide support for members of the order and religious volunteers who assist them. Okay. that makes sense, because you are not working for the governing body. You're not even though we just saw in the video where it says that the personnel committee basically is managing or overseeing these volunteers, but it essentially, you're not really under them, you're under this group. Do you see how they're insulating themselves from liability by creating all these different business structures? I mean, again, I'm just speculating here, but that's kind of what I'm seeing.
What especially motivates so many to serve at Bethel? Love for Jehovah moves us to put kingdom interests ahead of self-interest, as stated in the Proclaimer's book, page 295. This is not work in which they gain personal prominence or material possessions. Their desire is to honor Jehovah, and they are satisfied with the provisions made for them in the way of food, lodging, and a modest allowance for personal expenses.
Guys, what is he saying? Let's read between the lines. Basically, what he's saying is what they're telling you to do is not Bible-based, because he's quoting from the Proclaimer's book, for God's sakes. I didn't even know they still use that book. But he's quoting from the Proclaimer's book, saying that love you're supposed to have is supposed to be putting the work for Watchtower above your own self-interest, is basically what he's saying. Just to be clear, there's no such thing as self-interest when it comes to work, okay? Everybody that works expects to get paid. I mean, that's the definition of what work is. I mean, Jesus, my goodness, he was a carpenter. I'm pretty sure he got paid. It wasn't volunteer work, okay? I mean, like, really, like, think about it. Was there anybody in the Bible that you can think of that worked for free? Like, seriously, like, work. I'm not talking about, you know, being in the ministry. I'm talking about actually did labor, okay? Because these people, if you are, you know, doing dry cleaning, if you're cooking, that's labor. That's not working for God. That has nothing to do with the ministry. And the fact that they're trying to manipulate people in a way that they can avoid paying federal minimum wage, avoid paying workers' comp if somebody gets hurt, avoid unemployment if somebody says, hey, you know what, I'm done, or they get kicked out of Bethel, they get none of that unemployment money. I mean, come on, people. This is pure manipulation. Let's keep going.
Today, Bethel work assignments often extend beyond the walls of the main Bethel facilities. The vital work that is accomplished in such Bethel facilities is greatly appreciated. However, in this presentation, we'd like to focus on the wonderful work our remote volunteers are doing to further kingdom interests. To whom does the term remote volunteer apply? Remote volunteers are exemplary baptized publishers and regular pioneers who regularly are assigned to collaborate with the branch office or world headquarters remotely, right from their homes. Many of them also have secular jobs. More than 3,000 of these volunteers work each week in behalf of 42 departments, such as art, computer, and purchasing. And although there are only 90 branches, there are hundreds of additional remote locations where Bethel work is taking place.
Yes, again, going back to the business model of Watchtower, they have cleverly figured out, hey, you know what? A way that we can save even more money is by having these people work for us for free, but from home. So guess what? Now they don't have to provide them with 3 meals a day, and they don't have to provide any type of room, board, or medical treatment services. Bingo. What a great business plan.
With the recent adjustments in the arrangement for Kingdom Hall construction, the branch office is now responsible for the procurement and supply of all the construction materials for projects across the country. This seemed like a daunting task, since we only have a few in our department. Headquarters encouraged us to use remote workers to care for this need.
I do remote volunteer work for the purchasing department in Bethel, and my job mostly involves purchasing building materials for LDC construction sites. I use 3 hours a day from 9 a.m. to noon to do my Bethel work, and from 1 p.m. to to 5 p.m., I do my secular work to support my family and myself.
Let me just say this. I have no objection to people working voluntarily to do anything that they want to do on their own time, on their own dime, okay? Everybody can make their own decisions, what they do with their time and money. However, when a business entity, a corporation, misrepresents themselves and misleads people and manipulates people to think that some kind of way, by them sacrificing their time and their basically resources or money that they could have gotten in exchange for their time to work for free or for pennies on the dollar via a stipend, I have a strong issue with that. I mean, to me, it is a violation of so many laws. But again, it's like they get away with it because people are misled. They're misled to think that some kind of way they're working for Jehovah, which makes no sense, or they're supporting people who are going to be in heaven and be with Jesus. This is just so stupid. Oh my goodness. Okay, now at this point of the video, if you haven't been convinced that Watchtower is manipulating people to basically work for free, let me show you one last video clip and then we'll be done here, okay?
So when I received my assignment, I found out that it involved running the heavy equipment. So I called my parents. I was really excited about it. I said, "Mom and Dad, guess what I get to do?" And Dad says, "Okay, son. Well, did you tell them that you don't know how to drive?"
It was decided to pull a group of highly experienced, highly skilled brothers to concentrate on developing and teaching repeatable, consistent classes that could bring people's skill levels up to what was needed.
We teach well over 100 different classes in 12 major categories.
Here at Bethel, I've probably been a part of over 30 different classes. So it's been a variety depending on the needs at the time of the assignment.
I would estimate that I've taken about 15 or 20 different courses from safety and training over the course of my 13 years in learning a trade. I've become certified in at least these 7 different license requirements.
We teach people technical skills, but that's not the sole purpose of the training.
If you aren't skilled in safety, you can't be skilled in your trade and vice versa.
The objective in all of our safety courses is to get them to view safety the same way Jehovah views it, as a reflection of their spirituality.
So training in safety is essential.
So our goal is to take them into the classroom, give them some time to consider the theoretical, and then we take them out where there's a lab set up and we have them do some tests on it. Typically, they will tell us that they've been able to learn more in a week than what they have learned in a year of trade school.
We've done over 60,000 instances of training.
And so now receiving this training, it provides an area or an aspect in which I can give my 100% to Jehovah.
You see it in their eyes. They're just so happy that they now have maybe a new skill or a new understanding that they can use to benefit Jehovah.
I'm just amazed right now because essentially Watchtower is running a full-blown trade school where they're getting people certified, but at the same time, when they graduate and get these licenses, they're still some kind of way considered volunteers. Like, I don't understand. Even if they're getting a stipend, which again, like I've said 1,000 times, pennies on the dollars, this is a freaking trade school. And they're trying to do this under the guise that this is work for Jehovah. Like, again, this should be criminal. I don't know why anybody isn't looking into this further. This is just, I'm shocked. I am shocked. Okay, so before I let you go, I had to show you this. So I just Googled, careers at Watchtower, Bible Tract Society, and Indeed popped up. And sure enough, there's a legit Indeed account for Watchtower. They have 20 reviews. They have a 4.5 rating, which is so funny. They didn't get a 5 out of 5. Guys, this is a legit workplace. Like, I don't care what anybody says. Let's take a look at some of these reviews. So this one says productive and safe workplace. Now, this was this year. This was July of 2024. So this was just a few months ago, okay? Amazing workplace. The training is excellent, and the workplace environment is like a paradise. Geez. I learned everything about accounting with this organization, and the teamwork is impeccable. All right, next one. We work together as a team in a conducive environment. Working with Watchtower Society of Jehovah's Witnesses was very good experience. The environment enhanced me to be productive and expelled my skills and knowledge of printing technology. And this person goes into all the different skills. Again, probably all these certifications that they got. Okay. Some of the pros was there was free lunch 3 times a day. Okay. And then the cons, we do have 1 hour break Monday to Friday, 1 day off in a month, and there is free medical service. Wow. Crazy, right? All right, next one, good place to work at. This was June of 2022, June 20th. Awesome place to work at. The people are great and they are very flexible with work. If something comes up, I guess it's supposed to be up. Something comes us or you are sick. The only reason I left is because I moved, okay? And then this was hilarious. No pay is religious slave labor. This was back in December of 2020. Wow. Unfortunately, it's blurred, so I can't see what was said, but I'm pretty sure it was not good. Let's see what this says under slave labor. Cameraman is, I guess, the title. Oh, yeah, TV cameraman. All right, this was in Patterson. This says December 25th, 2018. It says, this is a wealthy religion that takes young volunteer men and works them to the bone. The overseers are there to monitor any complaint you might have. Also, the front desk staff are reporters of any kind of disobedience. If anyone is disobedient, they will be sent home in shame to a shunning community. So they make wiring, I think he meant to say working for free for them very stressful. They just say it's God's house and we need to listen, obey, and be blessed. Shunned. Wow. Pros, free food. Cons, free labor under narcissistic leaders. Wow. I mean, honestly, I'm not even shocked. I mean, again, this whole video was just talking about how Watchtower is a corporation and how they manipulate people and misrepresent themselves. And I don't know how in the world they've been able to get away with this for so long, but they have. As long as you have willing participants, you'll always be able to commit a crime. And that's basically what's happening. So I thought this was interesting. On average, how many days a week, how many hours do you work a day at Watchtower? They put 10 hours. 10 hours per day. Like, that's crazy. And this was as of September 2020. So 4 years ago. 10 hours per day. Now, mind you, that was also around COVID as well. So I hope they weren't still working 10 hours a day during COVID, because that would be some issues right there too. Thank you so much for staying until the end to watch this video. Before I let you go, I just want to say a couple things. Number one, I'm pretty sure since Watchtower watches all XJW videos and they have people to pretend to be regular people making comments, that at some point when they realize how incriminating these videos are of what they're actually doing, they may take some of these videos down. So I intentionally left the title of the video along with the date it was uploaded so you can see that these videos are legit videos when they go missing on jw.org. Okay. The second thing is, for those who are, willfully volunteering their time unpaid to Watchtower, if you really love and care them, continue to reach out, talk to these ones, whether they're friends or family or whoever. Talk to these ones, let them know you care about them, you're thinking about them, you're praying for them, but also to ask open-ended questions. Such as, hey, I noticed you've been working for Watchtower for a long time. Have you thought about what you'll do when it's time for you to collect Social Security? Because you won't have any. That's a good question. Another question may be, well, what happens if you are no longer able to stay at Watchtower? If you get very sick or ill and you have to leave, who will provide for you? What will you do for insurance? And where will you stay? How will you be supported? Because a lot of people, I guarantee you, don't even think about this, because again, Watchtower is drilled in their mind that they will simply just die and be in paradise. So a lot of people don't have a game plan. So it's your responsibility to try to instill that in them, that they need to start thinking about the future and realistically thinking about the future. And hopefully these questions that you ask will create some type of thought process where it will be like the antidote to kind of help them to wake up to say, wait a minute, what will I do? And how will I provide for myself? And who will I stay with? Because 9 times out of 10, they don't have a home or anywhere they can go to when they leave. Because many of them never even had children. So, you know, and they may have to stay with relatives. And then it's like, okay, so now you got to get your quote unquote worldly relatives to take care of you, even though you probably, you know, they probably shunned them for most of their life. So these are thought-provoking questions that you should ask to kind of help get their minds to open up. So nevertheless, I hope this helps. Again, thank you so much for watching my videos. I hope you have a great day.